What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of Why You Always Whining. I'm your host, Michael Flicks. Thanks for joining us. Back for episode 2, as well as episode 1. She's back for episode 2 as well. Homegirl D, appreciate you pulling up.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Have Kayla as well. First time on the show.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
No, thanks for having me.
And my guy Dre, his first time on the show as well.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. We have a good time, man. It's going to be a good conversation. We got a lot of good topics, good questions. We'll have a lot of good time tonight. Our first one that we got is more of a recent thing. There was recently a group of, I think some still in college, but recently recruited football players. They were on a yacht, all black players on a yacht with their girlfriends. None of them white, I don't judge, but the reason why we're speaking of it is because they all did a toast and they were saying cheers to more light-skinned babies. And I thought that was interesting. It's like you could have your preference of, who you want to date for whatever reasons, but to cheers to more light-skinned babies, I thought was interesting.
So this is a whole bunch of black men on a yacht with their white girlfriends cheersing to light-skinned babies.
I want to be fair and assume that not all of them were white. Maybe some of them just weren't black. Maybe they were Puerto Rican or Hispanic or whatever, but just they weren't black.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Okay, well, the reason why I find it interesting is because I feel like anytime there's a draft or anything that comes around, it's where people kind of notice, these motherfuckers really got a thing for,
the others.
Others. That's a good way to put it, others, right? Look, as I'm sitting here as an other.
Right.
But that's the thing, as an other, if I notice this and this is something, but one thing I've always just kind of wanted to kind of put in people's head is one day it's gonna be a whole one day black people is gonna look like me, you know what I'm saying? If this is how we keep it going, bro,
it's gonna
this is what black is gonna look like, bro. And to me, whoever are partaking are very responsible for if that does happen. So if it is just because you fall in love, whatever, so be it. I've got people who are interracially together. I'm a part of an interracial relationship, one that I don't think really was necessarily meant to be, but there are some that are. But yeah, when it comes to that,
So my opinion on it, I would think, so as a black woman and as a brown-skinned woman, it's whoever you love them. But when you kind of put down dark-skinned or brown-skinned, it's just who's your mother?
That's my main
It's who's your mom? So it's just that's first and foremost. I mean, you can love whoever you want to love, but it's when you putting down people that look like you, I think you're dumb. I think you're really dumb, because it shouldn't matter light-skinned baby, dark-skinned baby, or whatever. That's just like when YG at Nipsey Hussle funeral, he made a comment like that too. He was something about light-skinned babies or something. It's just that I think also men or black men sometimes have a complex with themselves, and they reflect that on the relationship that they're in. So I think they dumb though for saying that.
Okay, question. So now that I've already just spoke on stuff and not knowing y'all's circumstances, y'all are both fathers. What are the mother of y'all's children? What are they? What's their nationality, ethnicity?
My kids are fully black.
Okay.
My kids is mixed, Romanian, Filipino. But to touch on what she said, you love who you love. I respect that. You love who you love. You know what I mean? And I feel like most athletes, and I'm speaking on athletes, and I'm speaking from experience, right? So I was a college athlete, and
professional as well. You could, you know what I'm saying?
Pro too. But I want to touch more so to where my personal experience of what I started to see white women, and I didn't see that to college. When I got to college, it was in high school growing up, it's just I grew up with just blacks and Mexicans, right? And college is where started to see white girls, and then started to notice this white girl on me, tough. and you're giving me money, and you're letting me drive your expensive car. You're letting me do. So I think that experience of being able, and I'm not knocking any other out there. There's some respectable white women out there that got their stuff together and do their stuff. But I found from my personal experience and my peers, who I played, college ball with, whether it was basketball, football, whatever, they would only be with these white women to take advantage.
Yeah.
Because it was easier to get over on them versus
manipulate.
getting over on this sister that ain't going for shit.
Is that fair to say if these dudes are like choosing these women as their wives?
No, that's their preference. That's their preference, right? But I'm saying, I'm speaking from my experiences, my peers, of why they chose to mess with other race.
Kind of,
I can see that.
They were just with them for what came along with it. You know what I'm saying? They give you money, they give you money, they're, you know what I'm saying? And we want to talk about sexual preferences, like
they're very
it's like,
I don't want to call them easy, but they're very easy to do a lot of stuff to, because of that we get as a black woman, they say that we're not as easy. They say either
you're not submissive enough.
We're not submissive.
You're not
exactly.
submissive
We're not
enough
doing a lot of stuff that
for what me as a man and what I think. You should be waiting on me hand and foot.
Yeah.
And again, in my experiences, in my, growing in college, and it was, the white girls would always be the easiest. We can take advantage. We can do, that. So not to say none of these dudes is marrying out of love, because I mean, obviously you gotta have some type of. But I'm just saying, speaking from my experiences and being an athlete in college, it was a lot easier to get away with all the bullshit that I wanted to do
with a white woman,
with somebody that wasn't.
Okay, question. So, because I do think that there are some white women or women that are not black who do procreate with black men for a particular reason, because they have a desire to have a certain type of offspring. You know what I'm saying? Is that in any way something that black men experience, where they have that type of desire, where they want a light-skinned baby or a foreign baby or anything?
I so much appreciate you asking that question. I'm very proud to be black, very much so. And I love black women. I spoke about it on episode 1. I was very intentional about. I'm going through divorce right now, but I was very intentional about my wife being black and my kid's mom being black. I was very intentional about that. But I feel like it's I take a lot of pride in that, and I never judge anyone that doesn't. But I salute the other black men that were also intentional about that. You know what I mean? It's just
we don't get it a lot.
Do you know what your intention stems from? Like why you were so dedicated to that? Like does it come from
Absolutely. And again, I spoke about this in episode 1, but I'm a mama's boy, very much, and to this day. And obviously my mom is black, but also though, I grew up in Southeast San Diego, and I went to Performing Arts Elementary School. And from kindergarten to 5th grade, all my teachers were black women except one.
Really?
Except one.
Wow.
And that's a huge
that's a blessing.
That's right. Like in my so being a mama's boy and then leaving my home in my most formative years, the people that were shaping my life were black women. Yeah. And like it was, I love reading to this day because of my 2nd grade teacher, Miss Fulcher. Like all the Goosebump books, like she put us onto all like the black poets and everything, and even more so, and even I don't always speak about this, but honestly, my 2nd grade teacher, Miss Fulcher, she was very like, it wasn't just black kids in the class, but she spoke about having a black husband and being attracted to black men, and she put us on to the black poets and to some of the black literature. She taught us the curriculum that she had to teach us, but I think she was intentional about like I'm a black woman that's teaching elementary school kids in Southeast San Diego. I got a lot of black kids in my classroom.
And I have influence.
And I have influence. I'm gonna make sure I use this influence in the right way.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
a lot of that rubbed off on me, and not just her, like all the other women that were my teachers as well.
Representation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
So
what it is.
I think that's a big thing for me. Like from and then also I can't mention all that without also mentioning my mom would tell us, she was like, whoever you bring home, I'm gonna love her.
Yeah.
Whoever you bring home, I'm gonna love her.
Yeah.
But I would prefer that, like, and she doesn't have any daughters, like she has 3 sons.
Okay.
And she told us, like, I would prefer if y'all brought home black women. Whoever you bring home, like my older brother's married to us, she's half white and half Native American.
Okay.
And that's my mom's, like, that's my mom's girl. Like they rock out, they're real tight. So I want to say, like, because she's not black, like that my mom and her are not close, they're very close.
Yeah.
My mom, like, told us, like, I'm gonna love whoever you bring home, but I would prefer that you bring home a black woman.
Yes, and for me as a mom, I say, you know, living in San Diego and living in California, you have a melting pot of so many people. But me, I'm just like your mother. It's just like I prefer my son to be with a black woman, but I'm gonna love whoever he brings home. But for me, I'm like you, the influence that I have, you know, my mom and dad, they're both black, and to see them in love, that's why I'm so on black love, is because when you see it and when you have it in your life, you want it, you know. And I think that's why I date black men, is because I love black men. I love my dad. So it's just like when you have a community of people that support you and love you, you want that same thing. And so that's why I kind of don't venture out to other people, other races.
My situation was different. I mean, I guess my mom never said, I want you to bring home a black woman. She never said that. So, you know, growing up in Compton, we always just saw, like,
Love.
you know, like, black people, you know what I mean? And I don't know if you ever been to Compton. You know, back when I grew up, or growing up, it was more so all local markets, right? You got the black local market, you got the black, you know, food joint, soul food joint, you got the chicken joint, so I grew up in that environment, not really experiencing the outside stuff. So my mom introduced us to different cultures, you know what I'm saying? We would have dinner and be eating A-food young and Chinese food and stuff like that, where people would come over to the house like, ugh, what y'all eating? You know what I mean? So she would introduce us to these different cultures. So finally, when, you know, fast forward to me going to college and being away from that environment, and now understanding, like, I know what sushi is, I know what this and this is, you know. So then being open to that, and like I said, you know, in high school, middle, you know, growing up, I never dated outside my race. It happened in college. And then in college, it was just being open to, you know, I kind of, you know, like her, you know, but never was really attracted to a white woman like that where I wanted to have a relationship. It was like Latina, Pacific Islander, you know, things like that.
Minority.
You know? Yeah, so.
Are you fully black?
No. My mom is mixed ethnicity.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is she?
Samoan and black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, you know, being introduced to different cultures, and so I was always
the
open
exposure to different,
to talk to another race, and that happened in college, you know, where I'm like really like, all right, like I can do this, you know, she cool, you know. And then, and I'll say again, speaking from my personal experience, when I met my kid's mom, it was an experience she showed me something that a woman has never did for me. And I was out, you know, she wasn't black, but what she gave me and what I felt, it was like,
It was different.
A woman never took care of me like this. No one ever looked out for me like this. So it was like more so, this is who I fell in love with versus she had
Just
to
a
be
color.
black. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's who I like.
And see, that's something that I can both respect and salute, because you can only go with like especially if you've never experienced that before. It's like, you know, this feels nice, and especially if it feels like home. This feels like where I'm supposed to be. Right. You can never argue with that. But for me to look at that video and see a bunch of athletes like cheersing when you cheers to more light-skinned babies, to me it says like
You're shunning.
that was the sole reason. I'm sorry, that was the sole reason as to why you chose your mate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to like
down put any other race or any other person.
Yeah, and they weren't putting anyone down.
Yeah.
They weren't putting anyone down.
Yeah.
So it's like how can you beef with them because they weren't putting anyone down? But it's like to say like cheers to more light-skinned babies is like
It's still kind of.
it says that to me it says that I was intentional about not having
dark-skinned babies.
a black wife or dark-skinned babies, and it's like what? And then you got to think about like where does that come from and like why is that the thinking
or insecurity that they have. I think it is, and I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. Like for a black woman, a lot of people think that either black women don't want to see a black man with another race woman. No, it's not that. For me as a black woman, don't show a negative way of a black woman, like as in when I see you walking with a black woman, don't not look at me or don't like put your head down or feel like a certain way. No, I'm gonna support you whoever you date. But I think it's when they put other black women down when they're dating them is what we think is negative. It's like we don't care who you want to date or who you love. It's when you show negativity towards us because we're black women. Your mama black.
Right.
Like, come on now.
That's what I've always gotten. It's like, bro, love and date whoever you want to date, but don't diss us in the process.
Yes.
Right.
But then also, what was the first point that you made? What was the first thing that you said?
Shit.
It's all good.
I'm like, I made a lot of them. So, yeah, that's the main thing. It's just that don't downplay us when you're dating out of your race. Because your mom is black, and just give that respect. Like, you don't give your mom
That was what I
respect.
wanted to speak to about. You said like don't like not look at me or like put your head down like when you see me. I think, and respectfully, I think that comes from the commentary that comes from black women when black men do choose to date outside the race.
I would say that,
I agree.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I
agree.
didn't for the black men that don't have this internalized self-hatred. It's like, yo, I just met this girl that wasn't black and we rocked out and we vibed and I just like her. I just like her. I don't hate black women. I just like her. And I fell in love. You know what I mean? I think the not wanting to look black people in the face when you got a other on your arm comes from respectfully. I think that comes from the commentary that comes from black women when they see black men dating outside the race.
I used to get it a lot.
I'm about to say my dad has said that before. Like again, like my mom's white, my dad is black and stuff, and he said that there would be times where him and my mom, they're in the store and there's black women making remarks like seeing them and stuff like that. And it's just like some things like he was like essentially at some point he was blackballed from black women. Like once they find out they're like, oh, you fuck with white women, like we don't want to parse you, like oh, you into them?
No,
I agree.
So he was like, you got blackballed for a minute there. Like
I used to experience where they would get super disrespectful.
Oh wow.
Like come touching on me.
Oh wow.
Like, hey, how you doing?
Well, see,
and then it was just like you're doing that because you testing her.
Okay.
If so I've been in situations where it was like,
I've been that person too,
like
though.
talking to me, what you doing with her? Like in front of her, to make her feel or to get a reaction. But then at first I used to feel some type of way like dang, like I don't want to disrespect my sister. But then it started to get to a point where it's like, you disrespectful. You disrespectful.
And I lay down with this woman every night. Right.
Like you're doing this extra, being overly extra because
that's
you
doing
see
too
me
much
next to her. And you're doing all this stuff that you wouldn't do if she wasn't next to me.
I'm glad that you acknowledge what you just said though. When you said when the sisters see me and it's almost like they kind of like look down on you. But I think for me, when I see that black man when he with whoever he's with, and he kind of like give me that head nod, like, or look at me like, I respect that more than him just walking and he's like, oh, I'm not trying to look at you kind of thing. It's like, he still give that like, yeah, sister, because it's love. It's love. If you know that people are genuinely loving people, you can't knock that. But I think for a black woman to see a man that, like with the football players that say like seeing the babies or whatever, I think that's what make us be like, ugh. Like for real, like, ugh. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? Your mama black. I'm gonna just keep going with that, but yeah.
Okay, so I want to speak a little bit on what you were saying about how black women don't respect your relationship if you're not with another black woman or whatever. And I can say that because, like, I know I'm one of those type of people. Like, not that I'm gonna do it in her face or anything, but it's like, I have been in situations where, like, I'll ask you if you're single, and if you're dating someone that's not black, I don't give a fuck, like, type shit. If she black, I'ma respect it. Like,
Yeah,
I'ma fall back, I'ma
crazy.
respect it. But if she not, nigga, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So okay. I gotta hold on. Time out. I need some clarity. So
that.
so let's say like.
This is me being on some real shit.
So you're in.
half-breed woman.
So hold on. So you're saying like you'll see a dude like in Target or in the store and he's with his girl. You're like or you'll see an attractive guy and ask
or if
like.
I'm interested in a guy and like say I'm like, are you like if say I'm trying to figure out if he's single or not. If he's in a relationship but it's not with a black woman, you're single to me.
But how would you know that? How would you know that though?
Well, I do my research. I will do my research. But the moment I feel like, and that's horrible.
Okay.
But the moment I feel like, because to me, I feel like that's not what you're supposed to be.
It sounds like to me, you respect more of a black woman.
Absolutely.
A black man with a black woman.
So you're saying
love way more than I do interracial relationships.
So you're saying
Yeah.
I'm a biracial.
So you're saying if you're out somewhere, right, and you, I don't want to say if you're out somewhere, but let's say like you on the gram and you happen to come across a guy that you find attractive, and you get to scrolling through his page and you see like he a black dude and he cuddled up with like a other.
Yeah.
You still gonna try to get at him?
That's fair game.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, so to piggyback on what she was saying, and then we can go to another topic.
It's
but
toxic.
to piggyback on what she is saying, so I'm single. Been single for the last 5.5, 6 years or whatever. And for me, I wouldn't date. I would, but I wouldn't date a guy that date out his race.
And why is
If
that?
I knew that he date out of his race, I'd be like.
And why is that?
Because I love a man that love a black woman.
Okay, but what does it say? What does it say if he doesn't choose a black woman? Is what I'm asking.
Now they're strictly that.
Yeah. So now that I'm dating,
That's fair.
And if I'm dating a guy and he say, yeah, I date out of my race, but I see myself with a black woman, marrying a black woman. That's golden for me. Mm-hmm. Because for me, I don't want to have competition with no other race. I like a man that loves.
Why is that though? Why is that though?
Let me ask you something though. Let me ask this before we go.
Okay,
go ahead.
Go ahead and finish. Go ahead and finish.
So for me, let me get my wording right. When I hear a black man love a black woman, it's how I was raised. So it's like golden for me. I know that it's almost like being a woman that knows, just say that her man is bisexual. That's another competition that I gotta deal with. I gotta deal with this man fucking another man. So for me as a black woman, now I gotta deal with him looking at a Mexican, a black, or whatever. With me, I'm okay with you looking at
you
another
ain't got
black woman.
Now I like anybody. Like,
so you okay with competing with other black women?
Oh hell yeah.
Just not.
Okay.
And why is that?
It's not that
it's
not even
narrowing
competition. It's narrowing down. It's not even competition. I shouldn't even say competition because no other woman that's another racist competition for me, or just a woman in general.
It's just narrowing down.
But
it's
it's just too broad.
Yeah, when it's
too broad. It's like now when I gotta worry about, this is before. Now I gotta worry about you cheating on me with a white woman or a Mexican or an Asian or.
See, first I was looking out for light skinned bitches. But
so now what's your question?
And I'm gonna say this is a touch. I'm gonna ask y'all something, but just because you just said something, I wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to say this respectfully. And excuse my language. I'll just be.
Speak your mind. Speak openly. This is a safe space.
And I'm being one.
This is a safe space.
If a nigga want to cheat, he gonna cheat.
Yeah.
Regardless of what
facts.
your race is or what you feel like you gotta narrow down. Like, if that's his choice, that's what he gonna do.
Yeah, I agree.
But what I wanted to ask you before, touching on that topic, like, so what is your perspective on a other, not black, wanting to be with you? They got his shit together. They treat you 100 A1.
So
What is your
Okay,
making six figures,
Yeah,
everything.
so it was crazy. So I love a black man. That's my
Have you ever been with
ultimate.
another?
I was about to say that. So I have, and it wasn't. I didn't like it. It wasn't. I like a big man. I like black. I like chocolate. I like brown. So for me to, when I did do it, it was ill. I don't like pink.
For you.
I don't like.
Hold on, what was it?
Oh, his penis was black, but brown, but
What was he though?
he was Asian. So he was Asian. She said, cut it out. She said, ew.
You know what I'm saying? They dipped in some girl talk real quick. My nigga picked up his glass and everything. Like, I'm gonna let y'all have that. I'm gonna let y'all have that.
Now you got me hot, girl. You got me sweating. So yes. So and when I did try it, it wasn't bad or anything, but I know what my preference is, and I love a black man.
Okay.
I feel secure with a black man.
I feel that. That's another thing. I feel like preference is a thing, and I don't want to argue with people on preference, but behind every preference is a why. That's what I just want people to understand. But for me, like, I have never, since kindergarten, my crushes have always been little black boys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my brother, like, mind you, it's three of us. We all like biracial or whatever. My brother, white girls. My sister, my sister, I consider her a legit biracial. My brother, I consider him white, me black, and my sister's a biracial.
See?
But all of us grew up having different preferences of what we were attracted to, and it's been since day one. Like,
and I can speak on that preference, right? You said your brother dated white women.
Yeah.
Who was his mom?
A white
woman. Yeah.
And
that's what it basically is.
Yes,
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I wonder what influence plays a part, because it's
Absolutely.
like my mom, she was there, but like to me, like my dad, he was only there for a certain part, but like I feel like I've always longed for like as a dad, like even though he couldn't be estranged, I always longed for my father. So like I always was reaching toward.
And that was why I mentioned my upbringing, because my parents are still together. I want to say they're going on 36 years. I want to say they're still together, and so
that's your influence.
And my brother has the same influence. Like he watched a successful black couple, and my parents, like, they still have date night. They still like cute with each other. Like, when, you know what I'm saying? They that type of couple. You know what I mean? And my brother saw that. And his wife isn't black. He wasn't
region
like.
Has a factor in that too.
You said region?
Region.
It is region.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
But there's also
out here. I realize a lot more people date outside of their race because like,
of what they have.
That's what they have to.
Perfect example.
a lot more things go into it, because, like I said, like my brother, and I don't know, like, I attribute it to that, like being a mama's boy, and then all, like, in my formative years, my elementary school teachers were black. Yeah. My brother went to the same elementary school as me, but he didn't have the same teachers as me.
But who was his friends when he?
Nature versus
nurture. He had a lot of black friends as well. Okay. We was in Southeast in the early '90s, so all of our, we went to Valencia Park in the early '90s, so it's like all of everybody was black.
Black, yeah.
Or it was like 90% black.
He's 16. I'm a single mom. All he see is me. I think my baby gonna have Mexican. I think he's gonna be dating a Mexican girl.
Girl, I don't think your boy would home
no. Oh hell no. I doubt that. I really think my son, and it's crazy because I have had that talk with him that I'm like, I prefer, and my son, the first thing, and it's sad to say, but the first thing that my son come out his mouth, and no disrespect to the little black girls, because I love y'all, but my son was like, they too ghetto. They too hood, Mom. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, and it's so sad. He was like, yeah, no.
Have y'all run into that? Like, Like,
I was.
As an adult,
I don't look at it as like, oh, she too hood, like.
Because I've heard it before.
Culture. You know what I mean? That's our culture.
Yeah.
It always just go back to again. You love who you love, like who treats you the way you feel like you can't deny. Like I said, my situation, as much as I tried to run from it, like, no woman ever held me down like she did.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that was just like, damn.
You wasn't used to it.
Even though, like, even during those times, like girls on campus, black girls on campus, like, what are you doing with her? Like, you can do so much better, and all, you know. But it's like, you ain't treating me like she treated me.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't never experienced this part of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
So,
see, I can appreciate and also rock with that sentiment.
Value.
A lot of times I hear you hear surface level things where it's like, oh, she talk a certain way, or she carry herself, or she behave a certain way, and it's like,
me do this. Like,
and for me, like I have friends that their preference isn't black women, they're like, when you know the conversation, and we're gonna move on in a second, but when the conversation gets a little deeper and you ask them like, well, why is that? And they say like, oh, well, black women behave this way, or they do this and they do that. I'm like, bro, I've grown up in San Diego. I go to Soul Sunday, I go to Neo Soul, I frequent the places where it's curated for black people. I don't run into the black women that behave the way that you're speaking about, bro. I'd be like, bro, I don't run into those women. And so like, it's like, and granted, like the couple of friends that I have in mind, they're not from where I'm from. They're from out of state. They're from different places. And so they can only speak to their own experiences. But I'd be like, bro, like you talk about being loud or this or that, like I know it exists. I'm not doubting that. But and again, I choose to frequent the places that are curated for black people. And I don't run into the women that speak that way and behave that way, and I don't.
Sometimes people don't look at themselves and see what they attract. Like,
and that's kind of what I'm speaking to. That's kind of what I'm speaking to.
Seriously, it's like it's what you attract is you.
Yeah.
You gotta look at it. You know?
Facts.
Oh, that was a good chat right there.
Absolutely.
I mean, I feel like you can go deeper, but I'm
For real.
We absolutely could. I'm trying to move on to the next topic. You know what I mean?
But at the end of the day, love who you love.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree. Love who you love.
That's it. Like,
love who you love and respect others.
Don't hang ups. And it's like, love who you love, but like you said, respect, you know, what you came from.
And with that respect, I was just gonna say, I'm gonna piggyback on that. And with that respect, your preference shouldn't cause you to diss anyone. I don't want to say diss your own people, but your preference shouldn't cause you to diss anybody.
Anybody.
Really, like, outside of dating a other, like, love black woman. You know what I mean?
See, and then I was just about to say that what I'm getting from you date out your race, but it seems like you still, I don't get that. It's
You're
like,
out of touch,
it still feels like you still,
or that you don't want.
Appreciate, like,
and that's what, as a sister,
like that
I love that.
That would never, like, my upbringing of being black would never change, and that's never gonna change. It's like, say it loud. I'm gonna fucking say it loud till I fucking die. I'm black and I'm proud. I love who I love. Like this woman's, you know, like I said, your preference is your preference, right? So at the end of the day, all in all, like, respect your sister, because like you said, some of you are you're a product of that. So respect that, but at the same time, love who you love. Love who you love.
Ooh, this could take us so much deeper on this topic, but I gotta ask. I gotta bring it up. You said I love who I love, right? And I agree with that. I heard I won't say who I heard it from, but I agree with the sentiment. He said love is a function of priorities and values. That's what and this is someone, again, I won't say who it is, but it's a black man that chooses to date black women, and he does judge black men that don't choose black women as their mate. And he says, which I agree with, I don't judge people, but I do agree with the sentiment that but he says that love is a function of priorities and values. What do you say to that? You said I fell in love with this woman. What do you say to that? Love is a function of priorities and values.
Well, I mean, I can agree to that.
Okay.
I can agree to that too. Like you said, love is a function of priorities and values.
Is it a feeling?
Like, yeah. When you in love somebody,
you're not looking at their color.
Right. you the priority, regardless of
You're not looking at
what
the
they, you know, what they look like. Or I love this person. Guess what? She's my priority, and vice versa. Right. So, and the values of the value of if I love this person, I'm gonna do right by her. So let's value that. You know. So I do agree. You know, it is a priorities and values, but it's like it all stems down to what you want. And what you know, what you want.
Needs that you have, what are being met.
Yeah,
I'm not fighting you, bro. You know you're my dog. I love you. I'm not fighting you. When I hear that, I internalize that as I'm gonna prioritize and value black women first. So that's who I'm gonna choose.
Well,
That's what I take away from that.
Well, I do agree with that if that's your preference. Like if that's your thing. Like I grew up with that value only. Like I'm saying, like I grew up in Compton, California. That was the value only. You only dated your race, right? But being, like I said, my mom introduced me to different cultures and being open to that, it was like, all right,
Love who you love.
like, yeah, I get this opportunity, a chance, but to say like to prioritize like this is who I like. No matter what, black women. Yeah, I grew up like that, and then even going into college and then starting to talk to this woman who wasn't black, it was a lot of holdback. It was a lot of, you know what I mean, like shit.
Should I do this?
Do I
Should I
really
do-
want to do this or even be out and about where it's like, oh damn, they was like, yeah, I don't want them to see me, you know. So I experienced all that, but to say like to prioritize, like I don't know, like it just goes to your preference.
I hear you.
That's the best way I can put it. Like,
Have you dated out your race?
Never.
Never.
I mean, no, never. I mean, me and this one guy went on a canoe boat ride.
And then it just didn't work out.
That was like.
I'm so sorry to cut you off. We got to move to the next topic.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Which one do we want to do next? Do we want to do
I think I was looking at the do men love more authentically than women?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Do men love more authentically than women? I thought that was I actually saw that question posed online, and I thought it was interesting because initially I want to say no, of course not. But then when you think more deeply about it and you like really dig into it, it's like actually maybe men might.
What do you mean by that though?
Maybe men might, because it's like, boom, that's the perfect way to start that off. It's a perfect way to start that off. There's I don't know if you guys have seen the stand-up Chris Rock.
Yeah.
His not his most recent one, but the one before that. It's called Tambourine, and he said men are only loved on the condition that he was like only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally.
Yeah.
Men are loved under the condition that they provide something.
Yeah.
Yes. I saw that.
And I think it's very true. I think it's
can
very
see
true.
that.
And so it's like, that being said, can women love more authentically than men can? Because it's like, and also with that, and I agree that I acknowledge that double standards are real, and I'm cool with double standards. I'm not upset with them. I'm cool with double standards.
Okay.
But a man that's making $3 million a year would marry his secretary that's making pennies compared to him.
Okay.
But a woman that's making six figures would be extremely hesitant to marry the teacher or the bus driver or whoever that's making significantly less than him.
unless you're breaking that back.
So.
Unless you're breaking that back.
Yep.
And even with that, that's even few and far between.
So is it?
I feel
That's conditional though. I'm not saying
that you're
most
providing.
women. I'm not saying.
And that's to the point. That's to the point.
I won't say most. Some women will deal with that because what they
that
do.
and also too, I agree with him. And also too, we got to think about. I think women love more authentically because we love kids. We love our husband. Like I think our love is the dog. Like.
But I think,
Go ahead.
and correct me if I'm wrong,
Yes.
because I could be wrong. All right. most men grow up to listening to their mom of, you want a girl like this. You don't want no girl that's fast. You don't want this, that. And then women grow up with, I won't say the fairy tale of
This is what they
tall,
about,
dark, shining guy.
So I could piggyback on that with you.
Most women are in love with the fact of being in love.
So say that. So I can piggyback with you.
That's why.
So what do women are raised what to do? What are we doing? We're given a doll. You take this doll, you play with this doll, you nurture it, you feed it, you love it, you do all of that. With men or boys, what do? Hey, here go this ball, go play. Go do this, go do that, and do whatever you do with this ball. So that's why I say women are a little more authentic when it comes to love, because we're already set up with a baby doll, and you need to go ahead and feed this baby doll. This is your baby now. So I think it's already
natural to like
natural.
Yeah, I feel like it's more natural. However, I think for men, if a man loves you, a man loves you.
Yo, you can know. You'll know when he loves you.
If a woman loves you, it can be because it's under certain conditions and stuff. But for a man to love you, that's like because he really loves you. He dig and so that's why I feel like a woman, we naturally that's just in our nature to love. Like we're naturally lovers.
Like a woman,
but authentically through and through, like under no conditions, I feel like a man. Like we would be able to see that and know that for sure versus a woman being in the circumstances for what a man is providing for her or what she gets out of the situation versus, because a man, in reality, what do men usually get out of their relationships other than, obviously they get hopefully some support, like they got like a partnership or whatever, but it's like they can also get that elsewhere. But there's some women that stay in situations because your bag is different than his. It's not as common for men to be on that type of time.
Yeah. So what y'all think?
Yeah. So I think men.
I think it's just like I said, you grow. Most women grow up with the idea. When I get older, I'm gonna fall in love. We're gonna get married. We're gonna have these kids. We're gonna have this. And like I said, most women love the idea of being in love. Like, you know what I mean? Where versus men be like, I might call him up and be like, yo, bruh, I think I love this woman. I'm nervous. Like,
yeah, what is this?
Hey, man, I think I love her, man. I don't know what to do. Right. You know what I mean? Versus,
we almost don't want to keep doing that.
Yeah.
Like saying, this is what I want. You could be, like I said, you could be dating this woman for a year. She already talking about marriage and kids.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? And you like,
what the hell?
Damn, like, man, she talking about.
Y'all don't fall as easily.
So it's like, but when we do, it's authentic to where it's like, at first I was nervous and scared to now I'm like,
I'm a little more open.
I'm ready to do this, baby. Like I'm here, I'm ready, and I think that's the authenticity of saying I'm in love with you.
Yeah, we don't men we don't fall as easy, but I think we fall harder.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
So,
sure.
oh my God, I was just having this conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, I was just having this conversation with somebody today, and I said when it comes to men, when they start dating, and if a girl broke their heart in fucking 5th grade,
it don't matter, bro.
They will bring that back like, well, when Sally Jesse Raphael fucked me over in 8th grade, I don't trust bitches. I'm serious.
Yeah, no,
because we move off logic.
And I can understand that. So that's why I'm trying to tell my son.
I respect it, bro.
I respect it, but I'm trying to tell my son, baby, it's a balance.
Girls are gonna do you in. Because it's like this, like, I'm trying to find the right words.
Speak openly. It's a safe space. It's a safe space. It's a safe space.
So, I'll try to. How can I put this the right way?
Speak your mind, brother.
Get a shot.
So, let me get a shot.
Right.
Right.
Like, again, women falling in love with being in love, right? And most men being like scared to.
Y'all actually fall in love?
Yeah, to when we do fall in love, it's like, damn, And like I said, and it goes to like most men. And I'm speaking from experience, and this is most men. If a woman come talk to me, right, and I got a girl, a woman come approach me and talk to me, I might entertain it, I might flirt, I might, you know what I mean? Like, this is most men.
Yeah.
I'm saying I would do this now, but I'm just speaking on like
Most men.
most experience.
Right. We're generalizing
Like,
here.
if a girl came up to me at some point in my life and was hollering at me, I'm gonna entertain that. Versus if a woman entertain that, nigga, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
My chest hurt.
Yeah, for sure. For
Like,
sure.
This is my woman talking.
Yeah. Somebody
My
entertaining
chest
some other
hurt. But
guy.
if it's me, I might not entertain this woman, but I'm talking to her. I'm giving her attention. And to me, it's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But let a woman do that, and that's your girl.
Yeah.
I can't breathe.
You didn't
My
have
chest
sex
hurt.
That's real. That's real. That's real.
That's sad.
So it's like,
So funny.
That's so sad. Y'all can dish it, but y'all can't take it.
I'm saying of the
I
fact
gotcha.
of when a man say, I love this woman.
Yeah.
Even if I'm saying I'm in love with this woman, I'm not cheating on her,
Yeah.
but I'm entertaining this woman
can
that's
still do that.
talking to me, and it's nothing to me. And your woman cannot even be giving this dude
So do
that
you
type
think
of
we
rhythm.
love
She just
y'all
being
less if we entertain that stuff?
no. I feel like
Or even if you just feel like it?
where we love harder. What I was touching on is we love harder in the sense of
Y'all don't
like even if you being genuine and being a nice person to this other guy, right? That shit still gonna bother me. That's gonna bother me to like
I love
You're
that.
like,
showing
why are
somebody
you-
else affection.
why are you talking to this
I love that it do. It oughta.
Right?
But I'm saying
Yeah.
like, but it's true though.
Yeah.
It's true though.
Yeah, no.
It's true though, because I can be like
Yeah.
nonchalantly like, I didn't cheat. I didn't give her my
Yeah.
number.
Yeah.
I didn't do this.
But
I
you
didn't do
flirted.
that.
No, I think it comes.
What?
I think it comes from. Like as men, we want like. I'll speak for me. I'll assume with other men. Like we want like a girl that's like. That's gonna hold it down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I feel like. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like women like y'all. Okay, it's a better way to say it. If you out in the spot, right, like we at Soul Sunday or wherever we at, and you see a dude that's like over the top gentleman to any woman that comes up to him, you're gonna be attracted by that. You're gonna be like, that's a really nice guy. He's really sweet. I'm assuming. You'll be like, he's really sweet. That's a really nice guy. Whereas for us, if we see a pretty girl that we would want to approach,
And she's friendly
and we
with
see her
everyone.
giving attention to every guy that's coming up, we're gonna be like, I don't know if I really want to talk to her.
I mean, it also varies on the type of attention
Yeah.
that's being given. Because if it's like coming off of like, to me, like I respect men that I can witness, and I'd be like, I know I can let my guard down and trust that your intentions or every good move that you do is because you genuinely just respect women, not because you have a hidden agenda or anything like that. So for me, if I can sit there and witness it in real time, like, oh no, he really just respects women and stuff like that, yeah, it's a plus for me. But like for a woman,
Bathroom? It's upstairs.
for a woman, I can see if she's out here being like, you know, like smiley and all this stuff, or like that's different
Yeah.
than just being, you know, nice and friendly or whatever. But if she just is like just cool, like, cause to me, like I'm one of the people, like I was just saying earlier, like my favorite types of people be my homeboys. I'll be honest with you, like I'm like I kick it with y'all type shit. So like. It also depends on the type of attention, but yeah, it makes sense. Like, but for me, like I said, like for me, if I'm witnessing a man that I know for a fact, because men, they put on a show. They'll put on like they'll do that, and then it's too late. But to me, if I can witness in real time, where you are just, oh, this is really him, like, oh, your mama must have raised your ass right, because you respect women, like you.
That, and then
you
also
make sure
too, as a
every woman is
woman,
accounted for, taken care of.
Yes.
Like, I respect that, and to me, like that. Look,
I agree.
you done checked off.
I'll say though that I find that to be different, and y'all can, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I find that to be different from what I've seen. Most women, like, and I've spoken to women as well. Like I podcast and I speak to everybody that I come in contact with.
Yeah.
What I've experienced is that women They be like, I don't want no friendly ass nigga. Like, I don't want no nigga that's like, that's all like, you know.
So for me, I don't want.
But for me though, if I see a woman out and she's friendly, that's attractive to me.
Yeah, of course.
But from what I've experienced, if a woman sees a man that's like friendly, it's a turn off.
Friendly?
Yeah, I would consider myself.
Personally, I would consider you friendly. Like, I just seen you at Soul Sunday. Like, the energy that you gave off was friendly. Not too friendly to where, like, nah, I couldn't be with a nigga like that. He too friendly. No.
Exactly.
He comes off as a genuinely friendly person.
And that's different.
So it's like,
it's too different.
I respect it.
Yeah.
But if you one of those, like, smiling in every girl's face and everything, like,
you
touch, like,
also, if you in everybody's DM and you trying to talk to every young girl, like,
I'm a friendly person.
I asked Kayla,
that makes sense.
She like, he was in my DM. Oh, he was in my DM too. Yeah, that's what we talking about as girls.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because how I'm gonna feel special, like, and then I don't see that. I'm like, if you are sitting here and I can tell how just eager or desperate you are for a woman or a woman's company or whatever, how would I know that you feel honored by my presence versus you just being grateful to have somebody here? Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, that's what I mean by I don't like super friendly or thirsty. Where it crosses where it's like that thin line between like friendly, thirsty. Like, because friendly is one thing, and where you're like friendly, thirsty, where you're using that to play, like, you know, like to, as like something.
And I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
What if I say I'm honored by everybody's presence? What if a guy said that? Like, he was like,
if I would like, and if I genuinely can see that you interact with everybody on some,
my energy is not. My energy is not.
If you can see it is one thing, but I'm saying like for just to let's say like you've been talking to a guy and you've been talking to him and then y'all go to, let's say Soul Sunday, and you see him, you in your mind feel like he's too friendly with a few too many girls, and you like, and you ask him about it, and he's like, what you mean? I'm like that with everybody. Like, I'm friendly with everybody. How do you feel, and what's your reply to that?
I mean, my thing is, if I haven't seen you, you know, bumping elbows and nothing with no dudes also, then it's not everybody. You're just like this with bitches. So no, like, that's not true.
Okay.
But yeah, so certain things like that, like, and also like, intuitively, I can tell, like, energetically, like, if somebody's on some other shit, bro. Like, whether it's like, they a thirsty nigga that just like is this friendly like also where my hug at. I don't want to where my hug at, motherfucker. Like, I don't want to know. Like,
him niggas is funny.
I don't want nothing like that.
Also,
and the thing is, I don't care how fine you are. If you are where my hug at, motherfucker, I don't want you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so certain levels like of what it goes to.
Only ugly niggas is where my hug at.
Where my hug at.
It's you. Yeah, you either ugly or not used to getting girls if you on some where my hug at.
It's not, no.
Back there.
Right.
Which, I mean, grateful. I mean, I feel like that maybe I'm just getting older or whatever, but I don't really run into problems like that too much these days. Like, I feel like everybody's kind of just mature and it's like, bro, I'm not chasing nothing that don't want me, bro. Like, so I respect that. We shouldn't. We shouldn't.
For real. Let's see. How do you let's see.
Yes.
We want to do an honest conversation about infidelity, or how? Okay, yeah, that's where you want to go.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Let's do that.
An honest conversation about infidelity.
So first conversation is, what's infidelity to y'all? Because everybody got
to feel comfortable with your partner knowing about.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
But is that everybody's?
I think it's anything that your partner would dislike you doing, or anything that disrespect your partner.
Women be picky though. So like, to me, like, everything a woman might nitpick at, I wouldn't say like that just might be us nitpicking. But what I will say is, like, just in general, if you feel the need that you gotta hide it from the person, you're doing something wrong.
That's what I'd say. I used to say.
Yeah.
I agree.
I used to say, if your partner was standing over your shoulder, if you wouldn't do it with your partner standing over your shoulder, then don't do it. But to your point about like, it's like, nah, you can't really go with that one because that could get a little tricky.
Yeah.
But that second part that you said, I think that's the part that you rock with. It's like nah, you gotta. Yeah, I'm with you.
Where you gotta
Which one?
start hiding stuff.
Yeah, if you gotta hide it, then that's when it's that's when it's
That's why you need to be single.
that's when it's
Of course,
yeah.
So, like we were talking about earlier before the show, when we were going over the topics and stuff, we were talking about how with infidelity on most shows or whatever, most times this topic comes up. People are speaking on when people have done some wrongdoings to them. So let's speak on if there's been any situations where we
If
have
you were
been
the one
in a
cheating,
situation where
you were the
we
one
are
messing around.
guilty of infidelity.
Man, like.
I cheated when that nigga cheated back. No.
Yeah, I can see that, but I think like some situations is deeper than that, and I'm gonna be vulnerable. I'm gonna be vulnerable for
That's
a
what
moment.
it's good.
I'm gonna be
No judgment.
I'm gonna be vulnerable here right now. So this is my personal experience of why. And to be honest, even if I'm thinking that this is the reason why I cheated, to this day I still can't tell you that's the exact reason. Because I feel like I've been through so much trauma in my life growing up, you know. First of all, growing up in the environment and community that I grew up in, we thought with this.
Yeah.
This is what I was taught to think with. This made all the decisions. This right here defined who I was as a man. And you know, so like understanding that now as an adult, but growing up throughout the years, like man, like my dad used to take me to his side chick house.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? So like me growing up, like I idolized my dad.
Yeah.
I idolized my dad.
I told on my dad.
My dad is my hero, right?
That's crazy.
So when I hear that, don't tell your mama we are. You know what I mean? I respect my dad. That's my dad. This is my dog. This is my hero. So me hearing him at that, you know, those young age, you know, saying, "Don't tell your mom. Don't tell your mom." I'm honoring my dad, my hero, right?
And then you're also seeing him in a vulnerable state, so it's like you respect him a little bit more.
Yeah.
To where it's like, oh, you're human, like
Yeah,
you,
you
like
doing
you're not perfect, like you doing like so that's.
But that
another
just
thing.
goes to like me being a younger. This is like I said. This happened when I was like 8 or 9, 10 years old, something like that. So, but still, growing up in that environment where I'm looking at my dad, I'm looking at my uncles, I'm looking at all the ballers in the hood. Right? They had women. They had women. You know what I mean? It wasn't just a one. It was they had women.
plethora, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like growing up, I'm looking at that as that's greatness. That's success. That's him on top. He got all these girls. And so me growing up in that environment and growing up and idolizing that was one reason. And I think where, for me, when I talk about my personal experiences, like, and I'm being, you know, like I said, I'm putting myself out there. I'm at a place in my life where it's like, my testimony is my testimony. Hopefully my testimony can be a testament to somebody else. So like me growing up, like I had an older cousin, gangster, killer. You know what I mean? This dude was known in the hood for killing people, gangster, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like 8, 9, 10 years old. But he come into the house after whatever night street, you know, whatever, and I was young. I was probably like 8 or 9. This dude was like 17 years old. You know what I mean? But he would touch me, do shit, you know, molest me. Like, you know, he never penetrated me, made me do anything sexual to him, whatever. The worst was like touch my stuff, you know, touch him, you know, touch him, you know, and he touched me, you know, things like that. So like having that experience and going through that and being so scared, being so like terrified of this dude because he's a killer, right? And I know, you know, who this dude, but he's my blood cousin. So, you know, growing up doing that and having to deal with that and not ever telling anybody, and then growing up as a teenager and young adult and just overly sexualizing women and wanting to have sex with women to prove to myself like that's not what I am. I'm not gay. I don't, you know, rock like that. So a lot of my infidelity was just, again, my upbringing of trying to overly prove I'm the man.
That's deep.
I got all these girls, you know what I mean? And then subconsciously, this dude used to touch me. Am I gay? I'm not gay. You know what I mean? Like, this dude used to do all these things to me and make me feel like, do I enjoy this? Or like, so I'm a little kid experiencing that, and then growing up into a young man, and then eventually to a man. It's like subconsciously, I felt like I tried to overly, show that I don't like that. I like women. I like this. He violated me.
Oh my God, I love that you're even talking about this. I walked in from the bathroom, and just to hear you even speaking on this,
that's who I am now.
But a lot of men don't speak on that. And to hear you say that is because so many men and little boys that don't speak on it. And to hear a man speaking on it, you're gonna open up a lot of outlets.
I feel like that's
it's
who
a beautiful
I am
thing.
Now. That's who I am now.
In hindsight, because like at the time you thought the way to cure whatever you were feeling or going through was to be with a lot of women. Now in hindsight, what do you think you really needed?
Great question.
Guidance, therapy. I needed someone to tell me like, this nigga was wrong. He was a monster.
You needed some validation.
You didn't have to. You didn't deserve to go through that. You know what I mean? You didn't deserve to go through that, and I think I needed that more so. And then also too, I think if I had the understanding and the strength to tell somebody what I was going through. You know what I mean? Where it's like I hid it because I was scared. I hid it because of what I thought it might cause my family. So a lot of this stuff was just like it was just I kept it under wraps because I felt like it was going to be a bigger blow up. And I'm thinking this at 10 years old. This happened when I was 10.
So can I touch on that? Like, I was in a relationship with my son's dad for 20 years. He's the same age as you. And I think that same thing happened to him. And he never touched on it. And I think that we would be still together if I think he went to therapy. And I think he let that in his life get to him because he started doing drugs and all kind of stuff. And I think as a black man, I commend you for even talking about it because a lot of it black men don't.
Well, and then I never dwelled into drugs. My drugs was the women.
Yeah.
My drugs was.
Everybody have a vice. Everybody have a vice.
It was that.
Everybody have a vice. So with you, your vice was women.
Right.
With my son's dad, it was drugs. Because I don't think he had a safe space or an outlet to talk on. And I would ask him questions about it. And he was just like shunning it away. But to hear you say that, because I 100% I think the same thing happened to him.
And I'll speak on that because I was that. I was your husband, right? Where I didn't want to talk about it.
How long have you been safe enough to, where you feel like you can talk about it though? This year?
This is beautiful.
I think I opened up on his podcast and then
it's a beautiful thing.
Just coming in tune with who I am and like
owning who you are.
like coming in tune with who I am and understanding that
it wasn't your fault.
It wasn't my fault. And then not only that, like all those years of chasing women, all those years of being whoever I want and doing this, like whatever I want. I mean, I was a professional athlete, top of right? Get what I want, you know what I mean? But I think going through years of that and not really looking at what I've been through and how I reacted and things like that, I think now coming into a space now of understanding like all that shit was wrong. Yeah. You didn't deserve to go through that. You didn't deserve
it wasn't your fault.
It wasn't that, but it was like.
And it doesn't make who you are
at all.
Yeah, it doesn't make, but understanding now, it's like I don't have to think this. You know what I mean? Like I'm a man.
Yeah.
And one thing I learned this past year, like being vulnerable, it takes a man to cry.
Yeah,
it takes a man to just sit in front of somebody and shed a tear.
Yeah,
that's a man.
Yeah,
and for so many years,
it was the
opposite way. Like I can't show that. I can't show that I'm hurt or sad. Now it's like I
It's
can
okay
show
too.
that and still be a man, you know, and like, you know,
And bro,
test
and-
me if you want. You still can get these hands.
Right.
Exactly, and bro, and to that point, bro.
I feel too.
But this is what I've been through, and this is what I want to share, and this
We
is
need more of that.
what it is. And like,
More of that.
I think a lot of men don't do it because our image is you a strong black man.
Yeah.
That's what we grow up as, right? You're a strong black man. Don't cry. My dad used to always tell me, don't cry.
Yeah.
You better not cry, boy.
Yeah.
You better not do. You know what I mean? So it's like
But that's
And-
stemmed down from what
he
was told
Yeah,
to
yeah.
him.
So it's
Don't
he's-
cry, and it's so sad.
It's what he, you know,
Generational
what he
curse.
was taught. It goes down, it goes down, it goes down. And I started to experience this firsthand. Like, my mom passed away from cancer in April, right? So I understood then. Like, I'm looking at my dad, and then, you know, talking to my mom, and she understanding she about to pass, right? She know, like, you know, I felt at the time she knew, but didn't want to tell us because she's a nurse. She's been dealing with cancer patients for all this. So I felt like her energy was like, you know, and then during that process, me understanding and interacting with my dad and my mom, like, they were emotionally unintelligent.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is my mom and dad. I'm not knocking them.
And also too, they
I'm
didn't
not
communicate.
knocking
I'm
them.
pretty
They
sure
wrong.
they didn't
They don't know
communicate.
Don't
They were only equipped with what they were equipped with.
Emotional intelligence, and then they trickle down and teach us. Right? And this is what we deal with, and then how we translate, you know, our trials and
Generational trauma.
tribulations. This is how we
That's how we
translate it,
perceive the world.
how they did it. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, not to go off topic, but I'm just wanted to bring it in that perspective to where this is now what I understand. You know, like, yeah, that wasn't right. That wasn't cool. But what I am now and who I say I am now, that's all that matters now. Like, it's about
That's dope,
the
bro.
growth,
It
the
is,
growing
for
of, you know what I'm saying? Like, whereas before, like, maybe a year ago, I'd be embarrassed to tell somebody that.
When did your mom pass away?
In April.
Of this year?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I'm
So-
sorry, my mom passed away in 2018, so I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
So you're a part of the
Condolences.
No Moms Club.
Yeah, and they had, you know, and it just happened so quick.
Yeah, it did. Mine too. So
Like,
it's
you know,
yeah.
so a matter of 2 weeks. we
You
found
never
out,
get
and-
you never get over that shit. Like one thing, because I know you close with your mom. I know one thing that I can say. I don't know if people close with their mom or not. Even if you're not close with your mom, when you lose a parent, no matter if you're close with your mom or dad, it's like a piece of your soul
Man.
is taken away from you, and you won't know it until they pass. Like me and my mom, that's my best friend. Her birthday is your birthday. Fucking March.
You know what?
28th.
That's something that I have to keep reminding myself
I'm serious. When they gone, it's like a piece of your
Yeah, it
motherfucking
is.
Because
soul is gone.
my granny passed. I don't know how many years it's been now, but my granny passed a few years ago, and it's my mom's mom.
Oh yeah.
And again, I'm a mama's boy.
Yeah.
And
Whenever that day comes.
my mom is very, very religious. Like my dad is a pastor,
Okay.
so my mom is a first lady. You know what I mean? She's like, and
That's why
before
you say you couldn't celebrate Halloween, and I was like,
not at all,
Yeah.
not at all, not at all.
I'm a PK too. My dad was a pastor too.
And before, you know, my dad being a pastor, I was born like to a minister. Like he was a minister when I was born. You know what I mean? And so like having that in my life, like that was you know, that was always there. You know what I mean? So it's like it was a different experience having like, you know, minister parents, and like my mom, like, you know, having that upbringing. You know what I mean? It's a little different. You know what I mean?
Mine was different because I seen both. I saw him. I was with him
Doing this thing.
Before.
doing the thing and taking me to the side chick house. Me, you know, seeing him smoking and getting high. You know, doing all that stuff. Right? I saw all that. I saw my dad, you know, smoking crack rock with his little side piece. And
That's crazy.
I
I
grew
had
up.
that experience.
Okay.
I grew up with
I
that.
had that experience.
Okay,
Which one?
okay.
So
Thank you.
you know, seeing that and then seeing the transition when he got called to be a minister, it was like, damn, like, I think it happened when I was like 12. You know, he gave his life to God, and then he became a deacon, and then, well, I know he up there preaching. You know, And it was just like a total 360, and then me experiencing both of that, and then still having my internal struggle of, damn, my dad changed, why can't I?
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because I, in my adult years,
Wow.
married,
Wow.
Man.
you know what I mean? In my adult years, married and cheating. And then it's like, in myself, I'm like, you always hear it, once a cheater, always a cheater.
Yeah.
Right? But,
Yeah.
part of me was like, I watched my dad change. I watched my dad turn into a man of abundance.
Wow.
Of prosperity.
Well,
I watched my dad turn into that.
Yeah.
So why can't it be me? Right?
Yes,
But so many years of thinking that and knowing that, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. So like,
Why? Why do you think?
I think I was too far gone. I think I was too far gone to where I never talked to somebody. I never went to a therapist. I never, experienced these things to understand. Like I said, I'm in that stigma of I'm the man if I got this one. I'm the man if I can get that one. It was more so I'm not even doing it
I'm steady
for.
pulling them in.
Yeah, like I'm that. You know what I mean? Like that's the upbringing that I grew up in. So it was hard, even though I seen my dad transition. This is my hero. This is my idol, right? But clout is a hell of a drug, bro. Clout is a motherfucking drug that just.
Right.
Ooh. Once you get a little piece of that.
Man.
And everybody looking at you like, oh nigga, you the man. Nigga,
I see it working in high school basketball every day.
You got, it's clout. And
Yeah.
I'd rather have that versus the love, the intimacy, the whatever, because that fills you up, right? And I'm speaking on this as who I was, but I'm saying like that's what me chasing that feeling.
Yeah.
I chase that feeling versus even the feeling of having an orgasm, right? I'm chasing the feeling of everybody gonna look at me as that nigga.
Cause I'm
Yeah.
That's the way I grew up,
Yeah.
right? You the man because you had that, and now I'm older and understanding that that's not
what it
that's
is.
not the riches. That's not.
And then
what
also,
it
I
is.
think once we get older, you think about, it's crazy because you guys know who Dion Cole is, right?
Yeah.
So when I was looking at his stand-up, he hit it on the head. We only got a certain amount of summers. We only got a certain amount of summers to like adapt and to love and to, because after a certain time, don't get me wrong, people find love at 60, people find love at 70. My thing is, it's just that whoever I meet, I want to be me. I don't want to have to be somebody different. I want to show the authentic me. I want to be free. It's just like certain shit that I don't want to sugarcoat shit for anybody else.
Right.
I mean, I'm fucking 43, so when you turn a certain,
I'm 35 and that's where I'm
I
at.
feel when you turn your 30s, you already should know what in life, what you're looking for, whatever it may be. It could be the smallest thing, but you should know. Like, okay, I don't want a dude that is whatever, or I don't want a girl that's whatever, or, for me. So I'm like, in this time of my life, I just want to be authentic. My name is Authentic D. So I just want to be able to show myself and to be me. I don't want to have to sugarcoat shit for nobody else. Like, whatever you like, let's see if we can flow with that. Instead of me trying to have to compromise. I think when people have to compromise their life, they don't be the real them. So, this dating shit is like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, it changed.
It
changed.
does.
The dating shit changed to where it's
It
like,
does.
I remember first dating as a teenager, right? Like, not to expose, like, I'm old, I know I'm old as fuck, but not to
You ain't too old,
expose,
don't
but
be
you
saying
know,
that.
like, I remember a time meeting a female organically, right? You didn't have to look at her social media, you didn't have to look
None of
at
that.
all the likes she
Bro,
had.
I remember that and I'm 10 years younger than you.
Yeah, so like,
I remember that.
I mean, like, when you introduced to that 17, 18 age, we didn't have that social media. So it was
At
like,
all.
it was like, you see the girl in passing, you better buck up. If you don't talk to her right now, you probably ain't gonna ever see her again. You never ever see her again.
Especially at a skating
So you
ring,
better
at a party.
have some type of authenticity to be like, hey, let me talk to her, right? Versus now is, let me like 10 pictures, she gonna DM me.
That's crazy though.
Let me like 10 of her pictures and she gonna just DM me. Let me just, I don't even have to say a word. I can just like your stuff. Like, go crazy on the likes, and then you go DM me.
Bro, you know what's funny? In working in childcare, I'm a photographer now, but before being a photographer, my career was childcare. I supervised before and after school programs, and I watched that change, bro. Like my first job in childcare was I graduated high school in 2006, so my first job, I want to say, was either 06 or 07. And I remember watching the middle school kids more so like behave the way I did in middle school. Whereas like if you see somebody that you like, you go walk up to them like, yo, what's up? Or even still, you wrote the little note, check box, yes or box, and that was still a thing too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was still like, you had to walk up to them and hand them the note.
The note to him. Yeah.
It was still some.
It took some type of bravery.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I watched it change from that to, I'm gonna just shoot her a DM. And I remember being like working in these after school programs, bro, and hearing these kids talk about, oh, last night we was DMing talking about X, Y, and Z. Nothing crazy, nothing like inappropriate, but just we was talking about this, that, and the third, and da 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 da, and we was online till 12 midnight doing this and da 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 da. And then they get to school and they at the lunch table and it's
Nothing.
words, bro.
It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing.
Bro, like,
There's nothing. See,
I
No
remember
communication.
watching the change, bro.
see, I remember, like you say, when I started talking to girls, I think I was like 14, 15, right? So that time of 14, 15, going through, the stages of talking to a woman, right? I remember falling asleep on the phone.
Yes.
With R&B in the background playing. You know what I mean? I got some R&B music playing in the background. I'm sleeping on the phone. I'm falling asleep on the phone with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember those times of really getting to know somebody authentic. And it's like, like I could sit on the phone and talk to you, or like.
Everybody is inconsistent now. Like people, I think what it is a challenge. It's like who all like me. Like when you start talking to someone, it's like you gotta have a roster. Where versus when we grew up, it wasn't about a roster. It was like, you like me, I like you. Let's make it happen, or whatever it is. So it's just like
the people that had a roster were always the cool people. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was no.
I say let's not. Let's not be like, we so old school and this and that.
Yeah, no.
People that had a roster were
was
the cool.
Yeah, it was a cool. I didn't experience that till I got to college, because in high school, like, I had a lot of girls that wanted me, a lot of girls that wanted to talk to me, but I was a scary little nigga. I didn't want to, I was shy. I was shy. It was like, hey, so-and-so want to holler at you. I'm scared. I was a kid in high school that was hooping at lunch, going to fifth period, sweaty as hell, stinking. Yeah. I wasn't caring about no girl. Like, I just hooped that during lunch.
What grade was you in?
I was like 11th grade.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
and why I say that is because that's my son right now. I'm like, damn, dude. Like, he's like, oh, I ain't worried about no bitches right now. Like, he's at that age where it's just like, no, it's only about him.
It's like he was a late bloomer, though.
Yeah, no, it definitely was, because
I like late bloomers.
Because
I was too.
I respect late bloomers. I don't got time.
It hit when I went to college.
I don't got time to be at 15.
That's when it hit.
About to have a
when it hit when I went to college.
I respect that.
And I was just like, I didn't know what to do. Like, I was, like I said, I'm this shy kid that I don't really talk much. A lot of girls always liked me. I've never remembered a time where a girl didn't like, like since I was a little kid, where I felt girls was chasing me, right? And then in my college years is when it was like, I really felt like, damn, like, hold up.
And see,
like, hold on, like,
I was a late bloomer too, and I gotta ask you, as a late bloomer, do you feel like that was a benefit? As someone that like girls always likes you, it's different if like you never really got any attention.
Right.
But as someone that like girls always like you, and then being a late bloomer, do you feel like that was a benefit or a detriment?
Man, to be honest, like during that time, it created a monster. It created a monster to where it's like,
I can see that.
like, they want me like that? Like, I went to my first college party. This is my first ever college party. I never drank. I've never did nothing. I've never done nothing. I was an athlete, a student athlete, high school athlete, star. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, so I never, you know, drank or nothing. But it was like my first experience.
What
and
school?
This was at the University of Cincinnati. And I looked up to some of these basketball players who I thought was like, oh, he's going to NBA, he this. So I followed. So here I am, this 18-year-old kid. I'm running after these 21, 22-year-olds that been here. You know, they stars. And so this is my influence. Right? I'm not going to throw his name out there because he's an NBA. He was a former NBA player, things like. But this was my influence, right? He was my influence. It's like, little nigga, come on. We going to this party. Look at all these hoes up in here. Look at all these, you know. So it was like, I'm looking up to this dude. This dude about to be probably top 5 draft pick. And this is who took me under the wing and showing me how to operate. And then it really hit me like my first party. And I was just sitting there, you know, chilling. And 2 girls came up to me like,
"What's good, Daddy?
You want to come with us?" And I'm like, I'm not that. I'm not him. I'm not that. You know what I mean? Like, you, both of y'all want me? Like, I'm not that. You know what I mean? So I, you know, then started to deal with stuff like that and understand, like, damn, like, all right, I am that nigga. You know what I mean? So then it ran from that so many years, even going into like my professional career, like being in places, you know, and just knowing that it's cracking later.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm coming solo. I don't even know what's gonna pop tonight, but something gonna crack tonight. Right. You know what I mean? So having that confidence and, you know, parading around like that, you know, so, you know, those times, and like I said, that was the younger years, and, you know, and not to say, you know, fast forward now, like, I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, I regret I did all that, like, you know, like.
Is it?
Like, you know what I mean? It's not a loss. It was a learning.
Yeah.
You know, the learning experience of creating who I am today. You know what I'm saying? And not to say, like, I still struggle. And I'll be 100. 100. I still struggle. But it takes the daily affirmations to myself to be like, nigga, value yourself. Everybody can't have you.
First and foremost, don't let
Everybody can't have you, bruh. Everybody, you just was just giving it away, and you know what I mean. You just like you thinking, "Oh, I'm the man." You giving everybody your essence of really who you are, right? And that's when I started to realize, like, let me value myself, right? Oh, you want me? But I don't want you, right? Let me value myself in that aspect of.
I feel like when men start to do that, because it's like, especially if you like, you know, you're attractive and you tall, and if you one of them dudes that could like you can.
He said you're attractive, you're tall.
No, but I mean, I want to make it like that because I'm not tall and I've always done pretty well.
And also,
but the men that are like attractive and tall and are a professional athlete, it's like things are different for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you get to that point where it's like no, like I'm a value me. Like when I'll never forget. Like I wasn't like a star athlete in high school, but I was I never had a problem like getting a girl like me. And when my dad noticed that, he reached out to his younger brother who had a similar experience in high school. And I'll never forget. My uncle told me, my Uncle Clarence, I never forget, he told me, he was like, you not that dope if every woman, if you can walk into the party and all the girls in there can tell their homegirls like, oh yeah, I had him.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was like, my uncle told me, he was like, what makes you so dope if when you walk into the party and every girl in the party has had a piece of you?
Yeah.
Like you gotta have some exclusivity about you. You have to have that.
I agree.
He was like, I'm like, he was like, when I was, you know what I'm saying? I was that dude. And I made sure it was like every girl couldn't
Have me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was like, because that there's nothing dope about that.
Yeah.
He's like,
you can say
he's
everybody
like, you
have
can,
you. That's not good.
and that's what he was like. It's a stat to you personally, but out in the world,
yeah, it's
when
different.
you
Yeah.
go out, when you walk in, and every girl's like, oh yeah, when like, you know what I mean?
That shit hit
You gotta have
different.
some
It
exclusivity
does
about
hit-
you.
It said it hit
Best
different.
advice I ever
It
got.
hit different. I talked to a girl at a time. You know, I grew up with the game, right? Me and Game grew up together in Compton, and so like I remember dating a girl, and I remember going to his 10-year anniversary concert. 10 years before he released his first album, he had a big concert at the Novo, right, in Hollywood. So I'm with this girl. She's from San Diego. I'm taking her to LA. I'm going to this game event, all these celebrities there, you know, this, that. So I'm in there. I'm in the green room chopping it up. All the homies in there. We chopping it up, you know. And in that room, just me bringing her, she had to disclose to me it was 7 dudes in that room, in that green room that she was with, that she been with. You know what I mean? Like some of them was celebrities. One of them was like Jeremiah, games manager, like couple other people, like some football players there. I can't remember their name. You know, a few NFL niggas. You know, like it was some reputable people in there, and I'm sitting there with this. I'm bringing her in there, introducing her to game and my people who everybody I grew up with. This is my girl, right?
Oh shit.
But on the back end, she got to tell me, oh, I was with him before. Jeremiah Walker, I was with him before. Another NFL player, I was with him. Another dude play for the Knicks, I was with him. And I was just like,
See?
I'm in this room, like, just like, God, like, yeah, like, damn, like, I felt like,
It's a pro
even though
for that for me.
it was before me, all of that was before me, but I'm sitting in this room, like,
And as a man,
I don't want to be attached to that.
Because I'm gonna bring you in more rooms like that.
Like, I don't want to be attached to that. You know what I mean? Like, they all looking at me like,
Kayla.
Yeah, I mean, I think in that situation, yeah, I mean, that's just one room you done brought her in.
yeah,
Goddamn.
it's in that night, 7 in that room. And mind you, I'm liking this girl. I'm like into the, you know what I mean? She bad.
Was that
It's a deal breaker.
7
for him.
is a number, or was that just coincidental? That it just happened to be 7 of y'all all in the same room?
Well, I felt like it had.
Was she a girl that was already in the
No,
industry?
she didn't give me that because when I met her at a club. I want to say my birthday. I met her on my birthday. My birthday, December 28th.
Oh yeah.
On the 31st, we in church bringing in New Year's. I never did nothing like that. See, I'm like, what's cracking for New Year's? What we doing? I'm gonna go to church. But to me, to show her, like, all right, yeah, I fuck with you. I'm gonna go to celebrate New Year's in church with you.
Oh wow.
So my perception of who this person was totally different from what I got in that room. And
Well, two things can be true at once also.
yeah.
Yeah.
But for me,
I also say
again, the male ego of like,
Exactly.
The male ego.
you been with it. Like once she was
The
with,
male
she was
ego,
with
but then where
his
did
manager.
You met her in the club though.
Time out. Hold on. And I
Right.
agree.
You know?
The
Right,
male ego,
right.
Sure.
It's
The
like
male
you
e-
met her in the club.
The male ego, sure, fine. I'm not discounting it. I'm not discounting it. It's a real thing. It's there. If you,
I think we feeling good all up on this room right
the
now.
vice versa though, how would y'all feel about that?
So for me,
If I was in a room and you was with me, like I feel what he's saying.
Right.
Well, if you,
And I gotta tell you,
you-
like, hey, her, and her.
I don't like
so
it.
that's why.
I'm embarrassed.
Not even
now I'm
on
figuring
the-
out where
that's
all
why
of
you
them
have
stay.
to have that conversation with people.
What'd you say,
'Cause
Kevin? Hold on,
then-
real quick. What'd you say, Kevin?
I said, now I'm figuring out where all of them stay. Like, no, it's not good. It's not healthy for none
And
of
then
us.
for me,
Right.
I'm more like as in what situation did I walk into? Because you gotta have that conversation with that person. Like, okay, so who the fuck you fuck around with? Like, you gotta have a conversation with somebody.
Nah,
They're in the
and I
industry.
know I should have known because like
You met her in the club.
I met her in the club.
That don't mean nothing, though.
No, because she didn't show me.
Facts. Thank you, Kate.
She didn't show me that. She didn't show me that. She did not show me any way where I believe like this girl was out there like that. And mind you, at this time it could have been.
Told you, though, that's also respect for her.
Exactly.
She could have been.
So I felt like she did change. You know, she wasn't the same person. And when I was dealing with her, she wasn't in that same space when she was dealing with all these dudes.
Yeah.
True.
So either she was being honest or flexing on your ass.
But again, my ego can't.
Yeah, take that.
I can't take that. I'm in this room with all these celebrities, these stars that's looking at her and like, and even if some of them, like the dude that played for the, even the dude, like the dude played for the Knicks at the time, he looked at her and was like, "What's cracking? What you doing later?" Because he felt like, I've been with you before. Who's this nigga? Yeah. Fuck this nigga. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it was that. Yeah. And then it made me feel like
a certain way.
Like nigga, like
I would have felt
like it looked like when I brought her in there, she had on a sparkly white dress with all that stuff. Hey, well, I'm looking at her like, ooh, you got mud on your dress. Like you dirty. I don't even want to touch you.
So you got mud on your dress.
Like that's how I felt after you telling me all this first. Before I looked at you like this girl with this sparkly white dress, you clean. Like shit. Like how can I measure up to you, right? But then look at her and be like. But then on the flip side of the male ego, I probably did 3 times more than what she did.
Yeah.
Right? So, who am I?
I think what
you know, no, that's being real. That's being real. Who am I to be like?
I think what it is with male, they look at women as being pure. So when
you don't want nobody to touch your woman.
We told them, no, nigga. I got this many dudes, I'm fucking around, I'm doing this. Dudes take it as in like, damn, she a hoe. No, nigga, I'm just like you.
Yeah.
I ain't a hoe. I'm free. I'm single. I'm
not
single.
gonna say you a hoe, but
But if I'm single, what would you label me as?
I wouldn't label you as anything. And that's an honest answer. But the double standards between men and women are real.
Yeah.
And I feel like women, respectfully, if you choose to ignore that, that's your prerogative.
Yeah.
But I feel like women ignore that, and they feel like, well, men do this, and they get to da 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 da.
And that's because y'all chose to.
And women and blah blah. And if women do it, it's da 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 da. And that is true. I'm not saying what you just said is incorrect.
But y'all don't have to accept that.
But these double standards do exist, and to ignore them is. It's only doing you a disservice to ignore this double standard.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
It is what it is.
That's there too. I want to get into one more topic, but I only got
so
10,
much.
Yeah,
right?
I only got.
Well, 10, go ahead, get the topic. Just do it real fast.
Right. What y'all want to
I know you wanted to touch on the first one. How do you deal with a loved one doing something that changed your perception of them? I know that was something.
Let's get into that real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
How do you deal with a loved one doing something that changed your perception of them? I feel like that's an interesting one because it's like you could look at that as like whether you're in a relationship or whether you're single. It's like a sibling or like a friend of yours or whatever. But it's like I saw you in a certain light.
And I don't see you like that no more.
And you did something that completely changed the way I saw you.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do with that now. It's like I used to see you this way and regard you in this way. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's my fault.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my fault for putting you on a pedestal or for regarding you in that way and you were never that. But I regarded you in this way. And you did something that doesn't live up to that. And now it's like I'm left in this space where it's like I don't know what to believe about you or to perceive about you.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do about that?
I mean, at that point, I feel like first you have to look at how much of that is a personal problem versus like something that they wanted you to view them as. Like if they're trying to portray something and the whole time this is what they're not, then yeah, that's all their responsibility. But if you're holding them to a standard that they didn't ask you to, then that's a personal problem. But one of the things I think I've just realized in like general with my relationships, because I've had to exercise a lot of forgiveness in my relationships, like for one being like my father and stuff like that, is depending on how important that relationship is, exercising like unconditional love. Like that's been the way I've had to deal with that situation. Like nigga, like my dad, he's been battling a drug addiction for 20 plus years at this point. He's incarcerated at the moment and stuff like that. But to me, like I had to get him to understand, like I would much rather you be open about your addiction and you relapsing or whatever the case may be than you to be absent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so my approach to that, because that relationship meant that much to me, was to like try to prove to him that I'm gonna love you unconditionally.
No matter what you're doing, yeah.
Because what you smoke don't get me high. So like, but that's my personal experience where it's like where I viewed you as something, and it's like to be let down, and then to realize like you're going to continue to get let down if you keep trying to hold them to a standard that they never even promised to fucking hold up to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that like, yeah, trying to find that balance into like meeting them where they are and then having your own standards and boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Very well said.
Yeah,
I like
it's I think with life, it's, how should I say, like touching on both our parents being gone and just living and losing a loved one, it makes you appreciate life a little bit more.
I can see that.
And you don't know, I'm serious, y'all, whoever y'all lose, if it is your mama or your daddy, if you're close to them and you lose them, it's different. It's like you never know, like whatever relationship you have with your parent, when they gone, you still cherish it. Mm-hmm. And when you can't call on them, it's so much shit, even as a older woman, that if I could call on my mom and be like, what the fuck is this lady? Like, you didn't tell me that this was gonna happen. It's just different. So I think as adults, once we cherish the people, not just your parents, but the people, the genuine people that you have around you, you should cherish them and just know that they're a lesson for you.
So you hold like a different compassion for them?
Yeah, you have a different compassion.
And patience.
You need to take everybody that you come in contact with as a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, people are not always going to be in your life forever. Mm-hmm. You know, we met from some other person, but when you introduce towards people, cherish them and get to know them. That's my whole little thing. So
yeah, I mean, it's hard for me because I'm so hard. Like I'm so, not hard in the sense like I'm this gangster, right? No, I'm not saying that. I'm hard in the sense of
your love.
There's no in between.
Yeah.
I love you or I hate you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Respect.
it's hard for me to be fake with somebody if I ain't really fucking with how you rocking, or I ain't really like you gonna know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and be like,
Sugarcoated.
yeah, you know, like, but like if someone's like a loved one that, you know, I don't want to deal with what they doing, like they gonna know. They gonna know. They gonna feel the energy of what I'm giving them, and I think for me it's like I can't deal with you. You know what I mean? Like I can't.
So you don't.
I can't. You know what I mean? If you just totally, you know, look at me. I can't look at you in a way where it's like I can't even tolerate you. Mm-hmm. And that's just me, you know what I mean? And like maybe that's toxic in a sense, or maybe I could try to rebuild relationships, but as a man, I'm still working through that. I'm still working through that. Like if I could get to that place where I could learn to forgive people, then I think, you know, I could try to get there. But to be honest, like I can't deal with you if that's what it is.
Okay.
Come right here, my other camera went out.
Okay. Did you? I'm about to say, did you have an answer for how you deal with a loved one who?
Um.
And for you going through a divorce, how was that?
Well, I haven't experienced that in divorce.
Good for you.
I haven't experienced that in divorce, but I have experienced that, but it's not in divorce. It's a challenge because it's like I knew you as this, and I knew you to be this and to behave in this way and to love in this way and all of that, and now you're seemingly different. I don't want to say a different person, but just different. And so it's like, for me, it's a challenge because I don't know how to. I'm still gonna love you, but I don't know how to deal with you and how to, perceive the things that you do moving forward because I knew you in a certain way and in a certain space. And so it's like, I'm not ever judging. I'm not ever judging, but I have to perceive your actions a little differently because you're moving differently.
So do you think your relationship, is it something that you guys could work out if you do go through situations as in therapy or certain stuff? Or is it just a circumstance where it's like no other, you can't come back from what you were doing?
Oh no, therapy can fix it all. Therapy, I feel like that's like a blanket statement to me, but like enough therapy and conversation and enough work can fix most things, I feel like. But there are some things though that are like, no, like regardless of any therapy we go through, I knew you to be this person and you're not behaving as this person anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like,
what could we do?
We can go to therapy and talk about how people change and how things change and how perceptions change and all of that. But fundamentally, I knew you to be a certain person. Yeah. I knew you to be a certain, I don't want to say thing, but I knew you to be a certain person. And you're not that person anymore.
But I think
and I don't know how to deal with that. And therapy can fix that.
Yes.
But I also think it's fair to say that a person not, and this is wild to say, this is incredibly wild to say, and I acknowledge that. But for a person to be like, no, I don't want to go to therapy to fix the person, like you're a completely different person now. Like granted, like the way you love is different, or the way that you interact is different, or the way that you perceive things is different. But I feel like you're a completely different person now. The way you perceive me, the way you perceive your actions and my actions is completely different now. So, can therapy fix that? You can say yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I agree with that, I guess. But that's a lot of therapy to go through to rediscover the person that I already feel like I discovered.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's like, if you don't want to go through the therapy to rediscover someone, I feel like it's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Especially if you don't want to do it.
To
why?
To rediscover someone. It's like, when you talk about love and what love is, to say that you don't want to rediscover someone is probably
it's not love.
It's not love, and probably a little bit closed off.
Yeah.
But I acknowledge that, but I also acknowledge that, yeah, it's closed off, but